Hello, I'm Noel Vaughn, and this is the video you should be watching before you do any hypnosis session, so you have a better idea of what you're supposed to do, because it's not just one-sided where I do everything and you get all the effect. It's a partnership between yourself and myself, and it helps if you know what to expect and what to do before you do your first hypnosis session. Now, the first thing that you need to know about hypnosis is that it's not a challenge between yourself and myself on doing hypnosis. This is something that we do together. I'm the guide, and you are permitting my suggestions to take effect. It's very simple. If you do not want hypnosis to work, you simply stop listening. It's very easy to do. You've done it with people you know. You've done it at lectures, or maybe there's a movie you didn't like, but you were with somebody and you wanted to just go someplace else. You just stopped listening and you went someplace else. It's the same with hypnosis. You have to want to participate. You have to want to be in the session and want to have change, or at least experience the sensations. Now, the definition of hypnosis is it is a bypass of the critical factor of the conscious mind with the establishment of acceptable selective thinking. Now, what does that mean? Well, it essentially means that you have to find what I tell you acceptable. Negative suggestions, suggestions that go beyond your own personal morals, your own personal beliefs, have zero effect because the subconscious is still looking out for you. So the mental attitude you should have at all times is, yes, I know this is working, it's what I want to do, it's what I want to experience, and you'll have a great time. But if you have the mental attitude of, no, I don't like this suggestion, I think it's ridiculous, then nothing happens. You are still in control at all times. Actually, the stronger minded you are, the better of a hypnotic subject you will be. The weak-minded, people you find gullible, they don't necessarily have a great time with hypnosis. Well, because it requires a very strong mind, a lot of concentration, a lot of participation, a lot of imagination to make the whole process work. Now, you can also have these other two mental attitudes that may hinder your experience. If you have the attitude of, I hope this works, well, that's hope, the future tense. The subconscious mind is very literal. It won't ever happen to the subconscious mind. If you use the word try, I'm going to try this suggestion. It's like telling your friends, I'm going to try and show up to your party. No, you're not going. Or you're not going to have the effort to actually succeed. And that is the definition of try to the subconscious mind. You're trying to take your hand off, but it never quite comes off. You either take your hand off, you don't take your hand off, or you try. And try is just no success. Yeah? So whenever you want to do hypnosis, you just have the mental attitude that you'll be successful, you expect to be successful, and you will be successful. Now, how do you know when you're in hypnosis? Well, a lot of people are looking for the magic click when they go from the conscious state to the subconscious state. And that, again, doesn't happen. There's no magic feeling, unfortunately. I wish there were. We would have a lot more success. You hear everything, you see everything, you're still thinking, you're still cognizant, you're not asleep, even though we may use that term. It's the shortest term we can say, the shortest word we can say to gain maximum relaxation of the mind, eye closure, and concentration on what we have to say next. But you're not asleep, though we will use that term as we all do, because we just simply haven't found another term that is as effective. So, how do you know when you're there? Well, we're going to do a series of deepeners. All hypnotists do it, where we check for physical responses, we check for visual responses, we check for mental responses, and we keep doing them to you until you get into what we consider to be a working state that we can start giving you suggestions that can become more powerful and more effective for you. So when are you going to know you're in hypnosis? Afterwards. When we emerge you and you realize that things were happening, things were going on, you were able to connect the parts of you that you had not been able to before, or maybe you had some sort of experience, or maybe you experienced amnesia, or maybe you couldn't move your arm, couldn't open your eyes. Just when you tried to do something, but the suggestion was far more powerful than your ability to try. And that's very, very important. Now, with the establishment of suggestions in the subconscious mind, again, you are still in charge. You have to permit them in. But in order for a suggestion to go in, it becomes much easier in hypnosis because the law of compounding is in effect. We only have to tell you a couple of times in hypnosis, and it goes right into your own habits, becoming a new habit, whereas in the real world you have to hear it 5,000 to 10,000 times, not only hear it, but also say it to yourself, combination of the two, before it goes in and becomes permanent programming. Now, for children, this is much easier. Obviously, when a child is still developing who they are, their identity, they still imprint on others. Suggestions to them go straight into programming if they have no other programming there already. If there's already programming there, they may question the suggestion, thus causing the formation of the critical factor. If you have any other questions about hypnosis, please, you can always send me a message, and you can always get in contact with me on this channel, the Hypnosis Playlist, or you can catch me on Patreon.com. Just type in patreon.com/NoelV, N-O-E-L-V-O-N, Noel Vaughn, on Patreon.com. If you would like to support my cause, it's just a small $1 donation, and it'll just help not only yourself, but you're also giving back so that you can help other people become more successful as well. Well, I hope you have learned a little bit more about how the hypnotic process works. I hope you are going to have a wonderful time experiencing all of this. And again, if you have any questions, please, you can just leave comments below, or if you find that you may need additional information, you can always contact me as well. And I look forward to traveling this wonderful journey with you and letting you explore the potential and unlocking the subconscious mind, which is infinitely more knowledgeable than you or I realize on the conscious level. Thanks again, and happy transing.